Hello, welcome back. Thanks for clicking on my face if you're brand new. And if you're not brand new, that means you're a subscriber, and I love you. And if you're brand new, you know you can click subscribe, right? And then I'll love you too. That's how that works. My love is very conditional. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, and this is a review of A Rainy Day in New York. It's 2023. And I'm reviewing this film. Feels kind of random, doesn't it? I'm just going to be really honest. This is called banking a review. This is called a rainy day review, which is really ironic that this title is A Rainy Day in New York. This is a review that I will sit on until such day that I was too busy to post and make my own review. It will be done and ready to go as a placeholder. So if you're watching this, I probably watched this a while ago. It's on Amazon. It's been on Amazon for a while. I kind of thought it was an Amazon exclusive, but it doesn't have audio description, so I'm gonna go with a no. I guess it just lives on Amazon forever. Nobody else wants it, so there's no desire to take it off. This is Woody Allen's. This is a Woody Allen movie. This is like the last Woody Allen movie in a while, since the Allen v. Farrow thing. This had a hard time finding distribution, and I think it was released. I think it was released, like limited release. I think it found some kind of distribution, but it was kind of hit with a resounding whimper when it landed everywhere. And even if you look at its IMDb page, there's a huge disconnect there. IMDb fans are way more forgiving on this film than Metacritic. The Metacritic on this is a 33, which is, I mean, that's really low for any film, and it's low for a Woody Allen film. But it has like a 6 point something on IMDb. When traditionally when you see like 33 Metacritic, it at least is in the fives, if not fours, So the casual viewer seems to like this. I surmise immediately. I'll tell you what this is. It's the Timothy Chalamet effect. He stars in this, and his fans are not going to let this film go down to a 5. I guarantee you they've upvoted this film as much as humanly possible. They're like, save Timothy Chalamet! Save him! So, yes, this film stars Timothy Chalamet, Elle Fanning, Selena Gomez, Liv Schreiber, Jude Law, Rebecca Hall, Cherry Jones. It's a Woody Allen film, so there are like a bajillion people in this cast. And I start off pretty much every single film with the idea that I'm about to watch something great. I'm very optimistic, even with this Allen film, even with everything that I know. I walked in and I was like, you know what, I'm going to love it. Everybody else was wrong. I have no problem giving a great grade to something that the world hates. So I gotta be honest, immediately when the film started off and I found out that Timothy Chalamet's character's name was Gatsby, A-. Like, all potential for an A went away. I was like, that is the most pretentious name for a character I think Woody Allen has ever done, except to just straight up name a character Woody after himself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, except just straight up have an actor play him in a movie. I think Gatsby is just about, damn near the closest thing that you can get. Maybe like a Catcher in the Rye reference or something. Who the fuck is named Gatsby? You know what I'm saying? Like, who out there is named This is not a period piece, too. This is not like Midnight in Paris where they like travel back in time. Anyway. So Timothy Chalamet plays Gatsby, a kid who goes to who went to a better school. He complains something at the beginning. He's got this long narration. He goes from narrating to being in the film to narrating to talking as, you know, his character in the film. He gives a lot of information about his life, and basically he's with Elle Fanning right now, and they're going to take a trip into New York City. She's got this interview that she wants to do with this director. His mom's been bugging him to come and see her, and he doesn't really want to do that. This one doesn't really have a plot, to be totally honest. It's just kind of like shenanigans in New York on a rainy day. That's kind of what it is. It's kind of just a amorphous blob of things happening and people having conversations and just kind of going around, and the film kind of has catalysts as it moves along, and it's like, oh, this thing happened, so now we have to go do this thing. But it doesn't really have like a set goal other than, let's go into New York. Yay! So they do. Surprise. And we meet a whole bunch of random people throughout the rest of the film. So it's Woody Allen is hit and miss for me. I think he is for a lot of people. I think that's why every time somebody is trying to like take Woody Allen down, I'm like, he kind of frequently takes himself down. Anybody who's like, Woody Allen is the best director of all time is probably dumb. I'm just gonna go ahead and just call that one out. Allen is not consistent. His films all have a Woody Allen vibe to them, but they don't all work. He comes up with a lot of really sort of bland films every once in a while. I like try to name all of them offhand. Try to name all of the Woody Allen films, and I doubt you can. Whereas you probably could go through some of the other directors, and you can get real close because their films are more memorable. But with somebody like Woody Allen, you're going to get lost on something like Curse of the Jade Scorpion. You know, I mean, there are films that he's written and directed that just, I don't know, have zero impact on the film community. But in between them, there are these moments of brilliance. There's Match Point, which is unlike anything else he's done, which is a brilliant film, starring Scarlett Johansson. And it's a deviation from his constant stream of comedies. And it's so nice to see him do something like that and to show that he can step outside his mold. It would be like if Wes Anderson suddenly made a thriller. You'd be like, oh my God, what the hell is this? You know, I mean, the whole world would stop if Wes Anderson made a thriller. If he stopped making a quirky comedy and just suddenly made like an intense thriller, I promise you, it's like everything would stop. The whole world would just be like, what is going on here? What is this? So that's kind of how Match Point felt when it came out. I was like, wait a minute, this is a Woody Allen film? What? And Blue Jasmine is great. I actually really like Midnight in Paris. There's some stuff in there that's worth. And Annie Hall. Annie Hall's great because it's like really pre Woody and his rise. It's when you're able to appreciate Woody in that role before you go, oh, that's all he does. Okay. All of his characters are going to be like him. Got it. There's going to be a male character that seemingly resembles him virtually in everything that he writes after this. I understand that now. And that's what happens in here is Timothée Chalamet feels like Woody Allen. Feels like Woody couldn't be in this film because he couldn't de-age himself into a 20-year-old. So Timothée Chalamet is here to sort of do his best Woody Allen interpretation. And Timothy is not good at a Woody Allen interpretation. I'm sorry, fans. I like him too. He's awful in this. But it's because he's being asked to be Woody Allen, and he's trying to play Woody Allen, and it's just not him. It'd be like asking me to be Jim Carrey. I mean, I feel like I could make some sort of weird effort at it, but it just wouldn't be. At no point am I going to come across as Jim Carrey. Some people, you can wish that they can portray that person, but they're not. It's not going to happen for them. Even the best of actors are just wrong for some parts, and Timothy Chalamet just can't. I don't think he's had the same life experiences that Woody Allen has had, and he doesn't feel like, he's. It's actually very revealing about Allen for him to cast somebody like Timothy Chalamet, who the girls are all like, "Oh my God, he's so gorgeous," in this sort of like Allen-esque character, you know, because Allen is so not that. So of course he has to cast the hit actor of the moment in as him. It would be like if he did this in the 90s and Brad Pitt was Woody Allen. It wouldn't work. It just doesn't work. It's a bad performance. But I don't blame Timothy Chalamet for it. When I hear the lines that he's forced to read, I just think this was meant for Woody Allen. This feels like a film that Woody Allen wrote, 40 years ago, and he never made. And then he's trying to make it now before he dies. And he's like, oh shit, I'm too old for this role. I gotta cast somebody who's really popular right now. Who's gonna move movie tickets? Well, we got this Timothée Chalamet character that the girls really seem. Cast him. Done. Cast him. He looks exactly like I did 40 years ago. Bring him in. Bring him on in. No, it's such a disconnect. Because you can tell that it's really just that problem. The rest of the cast is fine, and because they kind of feel like they could float into their roles, but it's just Alan's idea that this character that was clearly written for him, clearly written in a very Alan mindset, that he thinks Timothy Chalamet is the answer to that question. It's not. He's done really well with people like Jesse Eisenberg in the past, popping them into roles like this. This is more of a Jesse Eisenberg role. Timothy is just lost here. He's. I don't think he has ever been neurotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Timothy Chalamet has ever had to worry about any of the things that Alan thinks about him. He walks outside. All the girls are like, "Oh my God, you're beautiful." And then he just goes about his day. Like, he stars in films. He's already an Oscar nominee. It's just, his career is just so totally different. And he has to read these lines that are clearly written for Woody Allen, and none of it ever really works. The rest of the cast is fine. Elle Fanning is kind of wasted as a little bit of an airhead. I kind of wanted her to do more, but it's fine. It's a fine role for her. I didn't hate it. Selena Gomez comes in here and actually does a pretty decent job. If I had to pick a standout in the cast, I would probably pick Selena Gomez. I kind of felt like her character was what it needed to be for that film. This isn't the first time that every single one of these actors has worked with Alan either, so it's funny how many people have worked with Alan and have this black mark now on their resume, and people are judging them. I mean, I don't get the appeal. I don't know if I would say yes to a Woody Allen film if I was an actor. I'd be very cautious just because, like I said, they're not all great, and I would not want to be in Scoop. I would want to be in one of the forgettable ones. What was the one he made with Jason Biggs? I don't even know if I remember the title of that one. He's got some that are just, whatever. But if I read Midnight in Paris and he was offering me like the Owen Wilson part, I probably would have taken it. So I'd be like, I'm working with Woody Allen. This script is great. So it is what it is. But if you expected me to come in here and be like a Woody Allen defense attorney, I'm not going to do that, because I've seen enough of his work to know that there are highs and there are lows, and this is in a low category. I can't really recommend this to anybody. The strongest supporting player in the cast really is the score. Alan actually has a really nice score in this film. It's very light. He's chosen a lot of like classical piano pieces, and it really kind of brings the film together. And it helps when scenes aren't working. You're able to sit there and go, at least the music is pretty, you know. At least there's pretty music being played in the background. Otherwise, it didn't really come together. So it doesn't have audio description, but like most Allen films, it's a lot of dialogue, a lot of dialogue, and that he compounds it by also having Chalamet need to narrate. And there's such a disconnect between what Chalamet reads as a narrator versus how his character acts within the context of the film. And that's also one of the jarring things about it, is that you'll hear him read sort of as this, you know, breaking the fourth wall to the audience narration. And then when he's in character, it's like a completely different person. There's just so much about this, it just doesn't work. So I'm a big fan of Timothy. I don't want the Timothy Chalamet fans to come and mob me. It's okay to just have one performance that just doesn't work. I actually don't even blame him for it. I blame Alan's desire for him to think that somebody like Timothy Chalamet could play a role that was clearly written for him. You know, no, dude, you are not George Clooney. You're not Brad Pitt. You're not Timothy Chalamet. You're not Johnny Depp. These actors you can't just put them in roles that were clearly meant for Woody Allen. You know, they're clearly in his vernacular, in the way he talks. These actors they don't understand what it's like to be Woody Allen, and they're not going to be able to pull off a Woody Allen performance. Playing Woody Allen, they need to be able to play themselves. There are actors who can do an Allen performance. Cast them. So, this should not be a Timothy Chalamet film. And then his life would be better for it. So, sadly, the lack of audio description just means it's current and it's New York, so I'm not getting atmosphere of the New York area. I'm not getting modern day costumes. I didn't really feel lost though, because everybody just kind of says what's on their mind, and they talk about things that have happened, and they go, "Oh, look across the street. Do you see her over there?" And the film kind of describes itself, because it's also not very good. So it's one of Alan's weakest scripts. So I'm not going to declare it unwatchable either, based on the lack of audio description, which is what I sometimes do. This is also a reminder that not everything on Amazon has audio description. So it has been on Amazon a while. I mean, like a while. Years. So with all of that knowledge, and unfortunately to the Timothy Chalamet fans of the world, I'm going to give A Rainy Day in New York a D+. A couple of performances worked for me. The piano score was nice. That's really all I can say about the film. Most of it just reminded me that Woody Allen is a very inconsistent director. Very great when he wants to be. Very terrible when he doesn't. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will review something else. In the meantime, you can check out my website, macthemovieguy.com. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Threads at MacTheMovieGuy. And you can go to the ADNA.org where you can see who's narrating the movies and TV shows that actually have narration that you watch. All right, that's it. I will see you guys on the other side.